Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures and crude oil are currently above fair value. We don't have any major economic numbers coming out this morning, so it's just about earnings. And so far, Costco earnings were good. I did my part. I hope you did your part too. Costco's only up 50, 80 cents in the pre-market so far. On the other hand, we've got Broadcom out, and Broadcom is currently trading above our projected trading range on the daily chart. So we go to the weekly chart, the next target is $200, and we are currently trading just above that in the pre-market. So congratulations if you're long Broadcom. Looking at the week so far, we've seen some negativity this week. The Dow's down 1.63%. S&P 500 is down on the week. The NASDAQ, on the other hand, the NASDAQ composite is up a little less than 0.25%, and we did hit 20,000 the other day, and we pulled back. So we are closing just below the 20,000 level right now. Now, the NASDAQ 100, on the other hand, is slightly down on the week. So no change in trend for any of these. And looking at the Russell 2000, so we're down the second week in a row, down nearly 2%. Then looking at the Canadian market, the TSX itself is down a little over 1%. So is the TSX 60. Not a lot going on there this week. And as of Thursday's close, the TSX and the TSX 60 are back on sell signals. Looking at the venture exchange, we're up over 0.25%, still trading below the 625 level, so no change there. Crude oil is up on the week, and gold is also up on the week. It's down $20 or so in the pre-market this morning, so looks like we are going to finish the week on a positive note. Next up, let's go to Chicago and take a look at the VIX, or the Fear Index. And again, we're trading in the channel, so there's a mathematical possibility of a buy signal on Friday with a close above 1438. That's also true for the VIX for the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000, and possibly the VIX for the TSX 60. Having a mathematical probability of a buy signal is not the same as getting a buy signal. So we are certainly within striking range, but that hasn't happened yet. And right now, looking at the futures in the pre-market, it probably won't happen on Friday. And of course, if it doesn't, those upper channel lines are going to continue to move lower daily. Now, while the VIX is still on a sell signal, which is supportive for higher stock prices, the market doesn't necessarily know that. And there's the Dow moving down yesterday once again, being led lower once again by United Healthcare, then Caterpillar, Home Depot, and then NVIDIA, which did not close outside of the previous day's range, which did not close outside of the previous day's range. So we're having an inside day of an inside day. So the market's going to be watching Tuesday's high and Tuesday's low as breakout points for the rest of the market. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see what NVIDIA does on Friday. Then there's the SPY ETF. We're looking for a close on Friday below $602.56. Is that probable? Well, guess what? The equal weighted S&P 500 continued to move lower on Thursday, and so the rest of the market is going down right now. There are a handful of big cap tech stocks that are propping the market up, and that's not Adobe. Adobe rolled over yesterday, down over 13%, falling out of the sky. Then the next biggest loser on the S&P 500 was Nordstrom, and it certainly gapped lower, down over 8% on the day. Then Western Digital also had a big down day, and Nucor Steel and Steel Dynamics all heading lower on Thursday. Now, looking at the NASDAQ 100, just like NVIDIA, it had an inside day or a day of indecision. A new high on Wednesday, inside day on Thursday. Now looking to see which way we go next. The equal weighted NASDAQ is still on a sell signal, but that would change on Friday with a close above $132.54. And we still got the next generation NASDAQ on a buy signal. No change there. What worked on the NASDAQ? Well, Warner Brothers was the big stock of the day. It was up over 15% on the day, so nice move up for that stock. We also saw ARM move up on the day. It was up over 3%, and then Intel even joined. So Intel's trying to find support at the $20 level. 1875 is our next target, but we got as low as 1992 before coming back and closing above $20. So $20, big round number, psychological support, currently working. If it stops working, 1875 is our next target. Now, Regeneron rolled over yesterday. It's been on a buy signal for a couple of days. Before that trade started, this is what the chart looked like. So a big skid marker across the bottom of the screen telling us the stock is broken. And the pros got pretty close to taking control. So the pros aren't selling at the moment. They're just not buying. And unfortunately, the stock ran out of steam after a couple of days, and we're back on a sell signal as of Thursday's close. Now, in the Canadian market, we did generate some sell signals on Thursday, including for the Vanguard Canada ETF and the iShares for the TSX 60. Now, these are not aggressive sell signals. There wasn't huge downward pressure on the Canadian market. You can see down here, we still have two blue dots. So the market hasn't completely rolled over yet. And of course, if you're a more conservative investor, you're going to use the midterm chart, and we still need to close below $38. So if you're not overly convinced that this is the time and place to completely liquidate a position, then liquidate half the position on Friday. And if you don't want to do that, then wait for the next close below the lower channel line to confirm the sell signal. So, there's several ways to handle something like this where it's not a conclusive, complete rollover of the market. What happened yesterday? Well, commodities really took the market down. And you can see that the gold sector was down 2.63%. So anything in the mining sector was down yesterday, and certainly anything in the energy sector was down as well. And the energy sector continuing to move lower, currently holding the lows from early November. Now, what didn't work yesterday? Well, the biggest loser on the day for the TSX 60 was Imperial Oil, and that's a huge move down. But, we've had a big move down back in October as well. So down 6.72%. Then we saw selling across the board in the gold sector. So there's Kinross down on the day over 4%, still on a buy signal. First Quantum is back on a sell signal as of Thursday's close. Again, it's a weak sell signal. Look, you've just got one red dot there, three blue dots. So again, you could use your options of waiting for the next close below the lower channel line, or only liquidating half a position. Then when you look at the TSX itself, the composite, lots of gold stocks were down at the bottom of the performance list, including Equinox. We had New Gold and Nova Gold all down on the day. NovaGold having an inside day. So they're all still on buy signals here, but hit hard on Thursday. Moving on to the world of commodities, and we have one trend change from Thursday's trading action. Copper is still on a buy signal here, filling that open gap. Gold pulled back yesterday. It's pulling back again in the pre-market this morning, down $18. We still have palladium and platinum on sell signals, and now we have silver on a sell signal as of Thursday's close. Now, crude oil is still on a buy signal here, down slightly yesterday. Crude oil is up 50 cents in the pre-market this morning, so that should hold this commodity up, and that's also true for gasoline. And natural gas, can we hit 1563 this time? It is certainly possible, and then we could head up towards those September highs if we can take out 1563. Let's finish off looking at the world of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's settling up here around 100,000. It seems comfortable up here. No aggressive selling that we've seen so far, and we're still on a buy signal. The Bitcoin ETF still on a buy signal. The Bitcoin Bear ETF's still on a sell signal. No change there. Now, there's kind of lackluster performance in the Bitcoin-related stocks. They're certainly not up hitting new all-time highs. So there's Bit Digital back on a sell signal. We still have Coinbase on a sell signal. That could change on Friday with a close above $327.66. So Coinbase looks like it's holding up fairly well. Compare that to Hive Digital, back on a sell signal. We've got Mara on a sell signal, and we also have MicroStrategy on a buy signal, but just treading water here. So certainly no momentum either way. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they're waiting for something. Pros are still in control, and of course, we do have an early warning signal on the midterm chart, but there hasn't been any downward pressure since that day. So we really need to see a close on MicroStrategy below $330 to see more conservative investors leave the market, but that has not happened yet. And for Bitcoin itself, we need a close below $87,000 right now to tell us that conservative investors are fleeing the market, and that certainly isn't going to happen on Friday. Yeah, we're leaving the week with Bitcoin holding up very well. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, the futures are pointing higher, and certainly the market's being led higher by Broadcom this morning. Have a great day and have a great weekend. Next time you'll hear my voice, if you're a member, we'll be on Sunday. Otherwise, we'll be back on Monday morning to take a look at the most actively traded stocks from Friday's trading action.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.